Our next conversation with this topic is our discussion sparks. Where in your process do you see students quietly slipping away before even melt season? Do you know? If you don't, this is a good call to action to start looking at your historical data. What are you seeing that you can be more proactive with? And which behaviors in your data set would signal disengagement early enough to actually intervene? Just today, actually, I can timestamp that this is a live video. Tej Mattel had a great session, a great webinar talking about data. And like, oh, if they don't submit the FAFSA, that's a warning sign. But if you're waiting for them to submit the FAFSA until the deadline, you missed that opportunity. So really being able to understand what is the data that you can track or identify or float to the surface that allows you to engage the student in time or reach out to the student in time is incredibly important. So as you start looking at what data is available and how you can pull that information in a meaningful way, make sure that you're pulling data that is actually going to be able to move the needle on your staff call to actions to actually get the students the help that they need in time to actually do it. And how could you adapt this engagement score to different applicant in inquiry, whether it's volumes, stages, whatever it could be? How could you actually use an engagement score at your institution in a meaningful way? Whether that's Ghosted Greg's or whether that's just other kind of segmenting, or how do you communicate with a highly engaged student differently? Do you send a longer email? Do you send more emails? Do you interact with an engaged student in a richer way because that they are more likely to be reading the emails? They are spending more time per email, but then not abusing that and just writing bad emails or sending too many emails because like, oh, they're an engaged student. They want to know. They do want to know. They're probably a little bit more tolerant with a volume and intensity of an email than random prospects and inquiries that you might have in your Slate instance. But how can you make sure that you're fulfilling their needs and giving them a student experience that is tailored to where they are in the process? And that could be in their process of the cycle of a recruitment cycle, with their journey with your institution specifically. Again, understanding their engagement level, but the velocity of which the engagement is changing. Are they just kind of a slow burn? They engage every couple of weeks to get a good score? Is it they were in our system, they weren't opening emails, but now they're a 75 engagement score in the last 2 months? They went to a bunch of campus visits. They did everything they could virtually. And being able to engage with that student in a way that is respectful to them, but also capitalizes on the heat that they're bringing to that engagement and that interactions with you and that student journey. And like, you got to strike while the iron is hot. And there are students that are heating up. There are students that are cooling off, and being able to engage with them in a meaningful way based off of where they are in their college journey and their journey with your institution is so incredibly important. So as you ingest this and start thinking about engagement scoring, maybe you already do engagement scoring, maybe this is a new aspect, maybe you have a vendor who does some kind of scoring or modeling for you, create a query that shows both total engagement score or total likelihood to enroll versus what are your recent engagements, whether that is a score or just raw, like, okay, they're high engagement, but they haven't opened an email, or they stopped sending us emails. Identify at least 3 students whose recent activity has dropped sharply and outline an outreach plan for them. Are you doing something automated in Slate? Like, okay, we do need to build something a little more tailored to this type of student that is falling off. Are you going to call them? Are you going to email them personally? Are you going to text them? What is that outreach plan for those 3 students? It's just a 3-student pilot. What are you going to do? Share your observations and your actions that your plan has, and just take it to the comment section. Let me know how that works out for you. What are you doing? What are you planning? And as we wind down today and we start to foreshadow our next Forgeworks Grimoire training, we'll be traveling with the Threadweaver. and mapping recruitment paths and shaping travel plans to meet students where their journeys begin. I will eventually get guiding artifacts up for these videos, probably something along suitcases, maybe some screenshots, maybe something a little bit more narrative as we fully embrace the Forgeworks Grimoire and the tarot of everything. But that's still TBD. Let me know, again, in the comments, what would you find helpful? Do you want a suitcase? Do you want more recordings do you want clips? I'm doing clips, so that's not necessarily a good call to action of telling me what to do. Let me know what kind of resources you'd want. Do you want one-pagers? How do you best learn? Do you want live, like interactive sessions? Let me know. And until we do meet again,